What is going on, guys? Welcome to Go Gamers TV. We have had an amazing decade of games come out, and in this video we're going to be talking about the top 10 games from each year.
Now I'm gonna take my time and go after him less.
Starting off this list, in 2010 we have Red Dead Redemption. Who would have thought that one of the best games of 2010 would be a Western? Rockstar's epic sandbox killed any misconceptions that it would be Grand Theft Auto in the desert, leaving a solid narrative that would be worth the price of admission, even if it didn't take place in such a stunning open world. The story of protagonist John Marston is equal parts fascinating and heart-wrenching, with an ending that would make Shakespeare hold back a tear or two. And besides, you can spend hours upon hours getting drunk, playing blackjack, and tying women to train tracks. Isn't that what gaming is all about? Next up in 2011, we have The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. The word epic gets thrown around a lot these days. Screw up badly enough, it's an epic fail. Scarf down a couple of cheeseburgers, and it's suddenly an epic feast. The word no longer has a punch at one's head. Yet there's really no other adjective that so aptly describes The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. A game that's epic in every sense of the word, from its immersive gameplay and jaw-dropping visuals to its sprawling storyline rooted in the real-world epics of Norse mythology. At the risk of fanboy-induced hyperbole, there really is nothing that comes close to approaching Skyrim as a game whose scope, design, and presentation sets a new bar for the action RPG genre. Moving on to 2012, we have Far Cry 3. No one creates living, breathing worlds better than Ubisoft, and no Ubisoft game has been as successful at doing it than Far Cry 3. It's a game of dynamic unpredictability, if not absolute reality, where a randomly generated narrative unfolds in a unique way for each individual player. Far Cry 3's emergent narrative is matched by its equally enthralling scripted narrative, one that delves into the nature of insanity with fresh characters and real insight. Yes, the remote island locale can be absurd, and the lead character's latent gifts of Ramboism leave no room for disbelief, but it's hardly important. Exaggerating a point often brings it into sharper focus, and in this way, games have the most potential. Far Cry 3 capitalizes on that potential. And in 2013, we witnessed the release of GTA 5. As an open world game, GTA 5 without a doubt feels like a living, working island thanks to both incredible scale and impressive attention to details. Combining these two is an amazing feat on current gen hardware, especially as the game looks so handsome and plays so smoothly. And it really is a game for everyone, giving the players the option to cause havoc with a chopper or just spend a leisurely afternoon playing golf. And when you want it to be guided through a compelling story or two, GTA 5's fantastic script and fresh mission design makes it so. However, it's the characters that really make the game special. Although all three protagonists are reprehensible human beings, you desperately want them to succeed as they go through the game's highs and lows. It's the characters that push you through the lengthy story to the end credits. A motivation that has really been lacking since Vice City. It's all rounded off by a thrilling yet fitting ending that leaves you with enough virtual cash to make San Andreas your playground. This game is easily the best GTA of this generation, and a fine example of what can be achieved when technical prowess is married to smart game design. And for 2014, we chose Bayonetta 2. The sheer polish applied to every part of Bayonetta 2 is something every major studio should aspire to. The exceptional and wide-ranging soundtrack, the huge number of unlocks, the Nintendo Easter eggs, and the unlockable characters that bring their own style. Not a single thing has been held back in this second adventure. Bayonetta over-delivers in every regard, and it will be a long time before another fighting game threatens her crown. And at the halfway mark in 2015, we chose Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 does not change the gaming landscape with innovation or visionary style, but it shocks you with its scale and wins you over with pinpoint execution. You can roam the countryside on horseback for hours, passing by ruined landmarks and abandoned settlements cast in gorgeous sunlight. Its combat system is challenging and robust without inspiring the transcendent frustration of a game like Bloodborne. The world is full of characters with personality and perspective, many of whom could play the lead in games of their own without a batted eye. And dozens of hours after you discover white orchids, just a tiny piece of the game's pie, it keeps fighting to impress you. 2016 was an amazing year for games. And with that being said, we've chosen Overwatch. There is much to love and praise about Overwatch that you could say about any well-crafted shooter. You get well-executed gunplay, unique character classes, exciting maps, and a variety of game modes. But two things make Overwatch special. First are the unexpected moments. Maybe it's when Genji deflects a McCree ultimate back in the Cowboy's face, saving the day. Or it's when all 12 players pick Mercy and have an impromptu dance party. Those are immediately YouTube plays that make you howl with laughter because you've just experienced something totally unique with this group of 12 players. And that's the second part of Overwatch's magic. It's the people. The brilliance of Blizzard's games has long been centering its work around fans, and the immediate surge of support from the Overwatch community is a testament to how deeply the game resonates with players of all kinds. As a result, most of the people play by the first rule of improv. Always say yes. Yes to unexpected moments, to the teamwork, to the hilarity, to the joy. That's why Overwatch is a happiness machine disguised as a multiplayer game. It's all about yes. And in 2017, we have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild reinvents one of Nintendo's most revered franchises, reframes our expectations of open worlds, and redefines traditional constraints of play, digitally and physically. With its liberating free climbing mechanic and Switch's seamless portability, yes, there really are 6 ways to knock an apple from a tree. And of course, you can electrify puddles, burn wood, surf shields, build seesaws, tame horses, and well, even after 100 hours, you'll still be shocked to discover the Bloopy Horse, magnetic airstrip trick, and Gerudo's Secret Club Radiant Armor. Breath of the Wild delivers what its subtitle suggests, an invigorating reminder of why we play, and the spirited adventure of youth. Moving on to 2018, we have God of War. While there was never any doubt that the return of God of War would be good, it was a surprise to all just how good. Part of that was because Kratos' reboot smashed molds as much as expectations. The old games were built around central cores of rage and misogyny, building a character that became increasingly difficult to forgive, let alone like. This year, however, gave us a Kratos full of regret and a desire for redemption. Still flawed and broken, but trying. For a game full of fantastic monsters, gods, and incredible spectacle, Kratos' relationship with his past and future, in the shape of his son Atreus, delivered a deeply human and wonderfully realized rebirth for the character. The moment when in a one-on-one with his son, his voice cracking, he all but whispers, "You must be better than me," is a heartbreaking moment. And even if that means nothing to you, you still had some absolute best in show combat, performances, and characters. Whether taking down a troll, listening to Mimir tell stories, or realizing Baldur just as much a victim as a villain. This is a game which will be remembered for the years to come. And at the last of our list, released in 2019, is Apex Legends. Not long ago, nobody had even heard of Apex Legends, but now it's going toe-to-toe with Fortnite in the Battle Royale market. The Titanfall community is understandably disappointed that Titanfall 3 is much farther away than expected, if it's even coming at all. But the game we've received instead is the most enjoyable Battle Royale experience ever seen. An array of characters enable unique playstyles unlike anything else in the genre. And with an upcoming battle pass and expected challenges, we can see ourselves playing Apex Legends for years to come.